Hey everyone, welcome to our Instagram live. This is in fact our first Insta live, and we have an interesting woman who would be a part of our conversation today. I'm going to bring her on in a couple of seconds from now. To put in context, the topic we have for discussion today is a working mom's guide to life during this crisis. Working moms are known to be the hardest hit in this crisis, and we're going to be talking to our guest today, Neha Singh, who will tell us a little more about how she's handling this situation. So, to tell you a little bit more about Neha, so Neha is a MBA from Narsi Monji. She has spent some time in wealth management. She has spent some time in being an entrepreneur and has been working in one of India's leading travel tech companies for the last couple of years. I'm going to be adding Neha into the conversation now. So, hey Shivani, hi, hey Neha, I see you here. Hey Pratibha, hey Naresh, Kritika, thank you for joining in.
Hey
Hi,
Neha,
hi.
hi. So glad that we could make this conversation happen sitting out of Gurgaon and Bangalore respectively.
Seriously. I'm loving this.
So
I'm doing this for the first time and I'm really excited. Thanks,
n-
Deepika, for teaching me
thank
something
you.
new.
It's a very interesting format, very effective too. So yeah. So Neha, I was just giving, our viewers a little intro about you. Would love to hear a little more about you from you. So if yeah, I've just given yeah.
Okay, so I think you covered a lot. I'm actually a person of multiple interests. That's how my career looks. I've had experience of over 13 years in various industries. I started out in wealth management. So I think wealth management was more of a passion, which has stayed with me, even though I'm not in that profession anymore. I was a consultant after that for a few years. I had a brief stint of doing something of my own as well. And now currently I work with Make My Trip. I am part of the category management team there. Yeah, so across various jobs, what I've learned is that personal finance remains something which is close to my heart. I was doing workshops for women where we were talking about basic money management and modules around mutual funds, etc. So, yeah, just discovering and learning and now coping with this new situation of working from home. Never done this
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
No, I think yeah, this working from home is a bit of a tough and tricky situation for most of us. But before I go on to that part, Neha, since you are working in the travel space, I just wanted to yeah, hear from you. How's that looking? Like, I know it's not looking so good, but how bad things are? When do you see things really like recovering in that sense?
Okay, so it is quite difficult, I think, for the industry right now.
Yeah,
Because initially, when the news came out in around January for China, I don't think anybody, including us, fathomed that it's going to be, like a
this
global
bad. Yeah,
phenomena like that. Yeah. So initially, the fears were that, okay, it is going to impact international travel. But as we all saw in March, literally everything kind of locked down.
yeah,
We're still in that situation. So if you ask me personally, I think it's like I was in the banking industry at the time of the Lehman crisis. I think it's very similar to that feeling in the travel right now that, there's, you don't know when things will get better.
yeah,
But we do have, um, I mean, as a business, we do understand that once it revives, it'll be really great, at least domestically,
yeah,
because people are tied down. They are literally wanting to even, just get out anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
So hopefully it's just temporary time, but difficult time for the industry. Yeah.
Yeah,
But been there,
hopefully
done
we'll
that.
all.
I
Yeah,
I felt the same thing back in 2007, 2008. So I think, yeah,
yeah,
it
I'm
is back
sure
to
not so fun to be at the core of both the crises over these
no.
decades, but yeah, lots of learning. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Sonia, I had one quick question for you, especially in context of our topic today, like I was saying earlier, working moms are known to be hardest hit in this crisis. And, we were talking to some of them who, in fact, said that they feel like they're doing five jobs currently. What has your experience been like in the last week or so, or perhaps even little longer than that?
Yeah, I think I totally agree when you make that statement about working mothers. I have a blessing in disguise, honestly, is that my mother and my sister are living with me right now.
Yeah,
So that's really a big blessing. And I do work with a lot of women at Make My Trip. And I do hear this a lot now that it's becoming more and more difficult to manage boundaries. So basically, the biggest challenge is
yeah,
boundaries, right? We are boundary less now, and now with no house help. So you're literally like a mom, a working professional, a house help, all rolled into
yeah,
one, and there is no timeline to anything. So I get it that I mean, I feel it as well. There are days when you're totally confused about how your day is looking now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's okay. It's really a different kind of crisis, but it has a positive side as well. I mean, Deepika. I think it's also first week was very tough, but now I feel that it's also helped me understand how beautiful it can be to, spend some more extra time with your family while blending in work as well. So yeah,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's the plus. That's the silver
yeah.
lining.
Yeah, since you mentioned also, I've met you and your daughter both, like you all both live out of Gurgaon, like four women in the house now. What's that energy like?
I think it's a joy to
Yeah, yeah,
live with my girls, and luckily for us, we have a lot of respect and love for each other.
yeah,
So we've kind of divided the work, and even if somebody misses their bit, the other one steps in and kind of helps out. So including Janya, she has her own duties as well, which
yeah.
she cheekily misses, and then one of us will do it for
Pitch
her.
in and yeah.
So that way, I think it's given us a lot of time to bond with each other while giving each other some space to work because we all work as well. So
Yeah, so that was talking about, yeah, that whole sort of support system in a sense that's come into play at home. But between all this, Neha, do you get time for yourself between work, managing your girl and managing the house and all of it? Are you getting time for yourself? And if at all, then how are you using that time?
okay, that's a good question. So I think otherwise also for working mother, I think, and many out there would agree with me that I think we kind of put ourselves last, or I don't
Yeah,
think we really realize many times that, what is my time, me time. So earlier, whenever I love driving, so I would like take some time to go for a drive, or maybe sometimes you just go get a spa done. You
yeah,
just kind of build those little slots which have a lot to do with going outside the house.
yeah,
But thanks to the situation, you don't get that anymore. So I think the time that I do get for myself is sometimes just staring into space outside on my balcony for like 10 minutes or something. Or the other one is when Janya goes to sleep, which is now quite late because
yeah.
no school. So after that, I get some time. So I use that time to either watch TV or browse social media or read. It's just like you pack everything in that 1 hour or 1.5 hours before going to bed. Yeah.
So any like, hobby that you left off or something you've picked up again?
Yeah, I mean, hobby wise, I just picked up the Rubik's Cube. That's something which I did this time.
Oh,
So I spent some time. I was kind of enjoying it, loving it, and I solved it. And now I'm on to timing myself, which is not happening. But yeah, I managed to solve it. So that's something which I did. I'm also, we've started kind of playing music together, my daughter and I. So she's
oh.
got this musical mat on which she's trying to learn some new tunes. And with her, maybe that's something new which I'll pick up as well. So getting some good time with family now. So focus on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is giving us some time to really, we have no excuse now for not
And not
spending time
thinking
with
about money,
family.
Deepika. If you're going to ask me about money, let me just put it out there that no, this is not the time when I'm looking at any of my bank
Yeah,
statements or my portfolio. I'm kind of doing away, looking at that right now.
So if I were to put that in the right context or in the right tone, would it be safe to say that it's not the smartest thing to keep looking at your bank account and investments right now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Yeah,
not. Neither is it. I think the situation is so, the overall situation that we are in, especially now that I'm in travel,
yeah,
there's a lot of uncertainty already. And when you look at your portfolio, I think it just adds up to that uncertainty, and you kind of have this whole doomsday feeling. And
yeah.
so, why focus on that right now? I mean, let's
Yeah, and
focus
that
on the
feeling
good
may
stuff
not
like
be
solving
valid
emergency.
in a lot of senses. I mean, it may not last. This doomsday is not going to be around
Absolutely.
forever. And so
Absolutely.
I know you said, yeah, we don't want to talk too much about finance, but I think it is important mostly to probably establish the basic idea that checking your investments frequently is not going to change them. And nor is it smart to make decisions based on emotions that you're feeling right now. So if you have anything to add on to that bit, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and pick on that one. One is that. So I'll just share how I felt when I looked at my portfolio crashing. So it had actually kind of started doing well, and it used to look quite good. And I do check my portfolio. I'm not very high on taking action, but I
yeah,
keep reviewing my portfolio fairly frequently, be it like every 15 days, I do. Uh, but as soon, I think first week of March is when I saw the kind of bloodshed which is happening.
yeah,
And as well as, like I said, the industry is going through a tough time. So I just stopped looking at it. Now I don't look at it. It's down probably like, I don't know, 10-15%. I don't know. Okay.
yeah,
Few of my friends did reach out saying, have you stopped your SIPs, etc. But till the money is coming in, no, I'm not stopping my SIPs. I will continue with
yeah,
that, unless some other emergency comes up. One thing I do want to say is that, and something which you talk about also a lot on your forums, and when I used to do my money modules as well,
yeah,
basics, that now is the time actually the emergency fund is making me feel great, right? So
yeah,
read a lot where people are now saying, hey, just sit on cash. And a lot of friends are also like, don't stop SIPs, let's just sit on cash. And all that money which I had put in together as an emergency fund, which used to keep staring at me, and I was like, when will this emergency happen? I think this is
yeah,
the time. I feel secure, I feel better that it's there. And
yeah.
it's kind of made me believe that definitely this was a basic requirement, a financial foundation. So just reiterating that make sure everybody, after they're out of the crisis, and if they don't have an emergency fund, just remember this time and build one for before the next crisis comes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we shouldn't wait for a crisis for this, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up, the foundation of that emergency fund. And this is probably going to be my last question for you. If you could very quickly tell us, I mean, a lot of us loved reading that piece of yours on building that emergency fund. But if you could very quickly leave us with a couple of tips that you kept in mind when you were really calculating how much you need as that emergency fund. You shouldn't have too much, nor too less. So how did you go about that bit?
So, like I had mentioned in the blog as well, I mean, initially what I'd read was there are some thumb of rule, etc. things which are out
Yeah,
there which
yeah,
say 6 months. Some people say 12 months. Some people say 4 months. So while I did look at that, I also just looked at my budget sheet, and the few things which I kept in mind were my fixed cost. So what is my fixed, right? So I have 3% for myself, because when I see my variable categories, stuff like shopping or eating out, I
yeah.
don't think it's very something I can't do without
Do
for
without,
a
yeah.
short period of time. So I think it's very personal, but roughly the calculation which I took into account was fixed, complete fixed, 20% of variable, and then bifurcated it, for a period of say 6 months, where my assumption was that I should be able to generate some income
Within that.
post 6 months within that period. It was actually that simple. I didn't do too much after that. I just then bifurcated it into two, three pockets where I kept some money in cash as fixed deposits and some in mutual funds as liquid funds. And I let the liquid funds be. I'm letting everything be right now. It's just very liquid and available. So that's it
Yeah.
actually.
So very simple formula, cover
Very
for your
simple,
fixed
very simple.
expenses and some portion or proportion of your variable lifestyle costs,
Bilkul.
so to
And
speak. So
luckily, I
yeah,
don't have any loans or anything. So yeah, that helped me as well. So
yeah, that there are a lot of people out there who also need to factor in their loan EMIs because I know we have this loan holiday for 3 months, but you have to pay that interest for the period that doesn't go. So please keep that in mind. And yeah, literally like my last question for you, Neha, and I know you are a believer, as are we at Basis, of the fact of investing through mutual funds, what is your advice for people who are so confused, so concerned in these days, just to sort of like probably reiterate the need to stay put, stay invested, and stay patient. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I brought that up. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine, and strangely, like I know he's not in a crunch for money, etc. But I think just the situation makes us act emotionally where we feel like
Yeah.
this is not the right time. And he just very quickly said, I hope you've cut out all your SIPs. And I was like, I will cut out on eating out,
No.
but I'm not cut out on my SIPs. So, yeah, that's where I stand with SIPs. I think it's actually a beautiful time to be entering if you have the cash. Yeah, it's very uncertain. I know. I don't know how long it will last. But then, like I always believe, we have goals linked to our investments. If you have the money and you want to make sure that it's, moving towards your goal,
Growing. Yeah.
yeah, you will not stop the SIP till it's absolutely necessary. So if you're not crunched in terms of cash, in terms of your fixed expenses or variable expenses or any other liabilities, then I think savings and investments should continue. I don't see this
Great.
as
So
a long-term problem.
I love the point about, you can stop eating at restaurants but won't stop your SIP. So your priorities are very clear. I'm so glad to hear these things. Yeah. So I think, yeah, just to quickly summarize this conversation, I know spend this time really perhaps not using the excuse of not having the time or space for family, good time to spend with family. Stay put in terms of your investments, if at all. I think probably increase, if possible, increase investing. And I think the emergency fund, which each and every one of us should have if we don't have it already, we don't have to wait for the next crisis to have that around, just start putting that in place right now. Great. So
Absolutely.
thank you, Neha. Thank you so much for making the time, yeah,
Thanks,
for us.
Deepika.
And
Such a pleasure.
thank you from Team Bases. And thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for our next Instagram live.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.